able to hold those points. That first neutral camp down on the bottom lane, they were able to just walk up and pick that up. But in the late game there, they had the burst denial, but I think that Odin on the point being able to take so many minions from such a safe distance really allowed Heavy Impact to secure a lot more of those Punishers.
Yeah, and the way I see it, Odin lasts so long that it's almost like if you consider an Alexstrasza, you ever play against a Dragon Queen, and the fight's going all right, and then Alexstrasza pops that Dragon Queen, and it's, okay, everybody out, wait out the Dragon Queen. And by the time it's done, then we can come back and win this. But for the next, 15 seconds, this is theirs. Odin is kind of that same way, but for a full 35 seconds. So... And enemy teams often can't afford to give that much time to the enemy team. That is a very long time to walk away and give something up. And if post 20 you walked away from every Odin for its full duration, that effectively amounts to giving up every shrine. So that's just not an option at that point, and we can just see the late game power coming through there. Very interesting strategy, and I question how much practice went into it. Because maybe there's something big brain about that draft that I just didn't recognize, and maybe it's been working for them in scrims really well. I think every competitive player ever knows the fear of the inverted scrim results, where something works super, super well in scrims, and then you take it out into tournaments and just get embarrassed. Not saying that happened here, but I'm saying we've all been there. So I would love to see if that last comp, maybe there was something I wasn't seeing. Maybe it's been working in scrims, but either way, I would love to see what we're gonna do here in Game 2 and how we're gonna mix it up.
Game 2, we are going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Fortunately, I'm not sure who chose the map here, but Tomb of the Spider Queen is where we're going. It has been, it's been basically whoever has the choice has chosen first pick here, so I'm assuming that this map was picked by GG Till I Die, or was picked by Heavy Impact as they won the last one, and GG Till I Die had first pick. That would be my guess. Unfortunately, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have my crystal ball. Not even a crystal ball into the past, let alone is what would be needed to define this.
Who can tell what happened in the past?
Yeah. It's a reverse crystal ball, because I feel like usually they tell you the future, At least they tell you the present somewhere else, but regardless, that's an entirely a different topic for a different day.
That's a different franchise for sure.
Let's get started with Game 2.
All right. Tomb of the Spider Queen is going to be our game number 2. Heavy Impact currently up 1-0 here. Let's get into it. Let's hit the start game button and go right into game number 2.
Oh yeah, we can just do that. Time is at our whim.
That is correct. Isn't that fun? Isn't that interesting? This is the power that Bahamut feels every time he turns on his stream. It's great.
Oh, yes. Dude,
I want to start a game. Game start.
I remember in Heroes of the Dorm, they always had to cast VODs because just schedules were insane. It's a bunch of college students, right? And a whole bunch of people all over the country. And so they had to cast VODs all the time. And I just remember J-How DMing me, please tell me this series was a sweep. And I'm like, sorry, man. As he's about to watch it. Regardless,
right.
let's
we
get
are
these
in.
players.
We've got game number 2 on the left in the blue, GG Till I Die. Fancy Pants on the Medivh, Vince is on Diablo, Jay playing the Hogger, Maka on Jaina, and Legacy is on the Brightwing.
And over on the right, I'm going to be honest, when I'm not the observer, I just open the scoreboard and go down the line because it's way easier.
Oh, that's the way to go.
We have Mason Blaze on the Leoric, Tremor playing Stitches, love that character, especially in this map. Infrared and Sylvanas, Weary Day reprising their role on the Malfurion, and Roger on that Falstad.
These two teams looking like they got pretty much exactly what they would want out of these kind of comps. You got your Stitches Malfurion on one side, you've got your Medivh Diablo on the other side. This is going to be a clash of two pretty perfected compositions. Oh, Maka actually gets hit with that hook, it just completely threading the needle. But Fancy Pants with the save portal means that no kills will be had.
Protected, by the way.
Protected by the way.
I eagerly look forward to many, many Stitches hooks, immediately followed by that.
Oh no, Jaina with the turnaround damage. Maka picking up the first kill there onto Sylvanas. Very nicely done. Trying to get the body block onto Tremor, but Stitches with that shambling horror will shimmy on by. Very nice pickup.
90% sure Fancy Pants could have gone for the body block there, but just letting Stitches slip through their fingers.
Stitches is very slippery.
Oh, for sure.
Looking at that body, that's a slippery boy.
Oh, yeah, man. Right.
Tremor going to get caught there as Jay finishing up the bottom camp. There's the knockback. Tremor trying to move forward, but Vince closing the door there. GG Till I Die picking up the bottom camp. There's another hook coming on out, but the shadow charge into lane will secure the escape. A lot of action down here on the bottom lane so far, Mockery.
Yeah, already so much, and I gotta say, this is refreshing coming back from my recent European climb, where that was basically a resort. I got to be down there by myself. It was interesting to say the least, so this is completely different to see teams contesting exactly what they should, but I gotta say, so far what I'm looking for is I am waiting to see these hooks from Tremor. I feel like Tremor has this work cut out for him, trying to get targets against a Brightwing, against a Medivh, heroes that specialize in saving people on the brink of death in such deep danger, so it's going to be difficult for Tremor, and I would love to be impressed by something right here as we see a beautiful combo coming out from Vince, but Tremor getting to walk away.
Stitch's hooks have been landing so far, but like you said, the saves have been on point. That one not quite going to connect there. Vince able to sidestep. Good push, though, in the mid, getting most of that wall down. Cannon Tower still active. Maka going to finish that off with a Blizzard. That'll definitely help with the mid lane push. Nice peel there by Vince. Maka was looking in trouble there for sure. Oh, almost in trouble again. Vince going to stop one more hook.
Yeah, I'm like, what's that hook gonna do? Like, it's on its hank, he's just hanging out in the middle, regardless. This is pretty cool so far.
Oh, Jay with the knockback. Nicely done by Hogger down there in the bottom lane.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's already a second siege camp, I think? No.
No, we're still waiting on that one. I'm not sure what Hogger was doing down there. I think
for a second, I just started looking around, like, where is it? And I was like, oh wait, no, he was just vibing down there for some reason. He heard there was a resort, regardless. Red
That's right.
Down there, Bruiser. As both teams are getting ready to start being able to afford those web weavers very, very soon. Legacy dumping his gems successfully in the top lane here, as blue side doing a good job of nobody really holding a lot of gems. Nobody's saving up for the Gucci store today, as they have a lot of points turned in, and this is going to be a strong siege in mid lane, greatly lowering the effectiveness of Stitch's hooks. Stitches depends on having his buildings up in order to be able to threaten hook kills in lane, and without them, his efficacy goes down by a lot. So that's a strong push to start us out for the blue side right here.
That's a good drop off there for heavy impact, dropping 28 down there in the bottom lane. There's the hook coming out onto Fancy Pants. Medivh's got the bubble. Vince has the charge. Currently, Medivh's sitting at 28 stacks and has been doing so pretty safely so far. So I think Fancy Pants shouldn't have too much trouble finishing this off, but at some point, one hook can change all that, especially if they're not finished before level 10. That can be a problem.
I look at that hook, and yes, Medivh was hooked, and 2 seconds later, he had literally full health. I am almost just finding myself wondering, as far as it comes to this red team, do they have a true kill condition? How do they actually pick up picks in these team fights? Are we going to see some big change once we start to get into the ults? Or are they going to continue struggling at this? Ooh, I think that was maybe an opportunity for a body block there from Vince, but playing a little bit more conservatively, he backs off.
Tremor is going to escape there. Tired Hero asking if there's any shish kebabbers. Can you imagine if Stitches still had shish kebab in his current state? Oh, that'd be busted.
That's hooked multiple people, right?
That was where, yeah, you went through the first target, they were stunned for the entire cast, and you got to hook a second target on the other side. Most people just used it as a short-range extended stun.
Yeah, I mean, that was a perfectly valid use for it. I can't remember, did it let you hook through buildings or no?
You could go through a gate.
Gotcha, okay.
I'm not sure if it lets you go through a whole fort, but you could definitely go through a gate.
Gotcha. Alright, well, Mason Blaze and Tremor both very low leading into this next objective, and there's Jay now getting the second cap of that bottom siege. And a little bit awkward for the frontline situation right here, as they are forced to come in late, about a little bit after the web weavers here.
Mason Blaze in a little bit of trouble down there in the bottom lane. Looks like there was a disconnect in the actual game. That's okay.
Oh,
We're right
yeah,
back into
yeah.
it. It's like it never
See, that's how you know it's not live, because all the time that happens during the pause just gets instantly skipped because the pause doesn't happen in the replay file.
You mean that wasn't just pro APM mockery? Come on now.
I'm sorry for all the kids in the
Medivh
chat
portal
who
forward. There's the water elemental coming on out there. Level 10 advantage here for GG Till I Die, but Tremor able to move back there. Mason Blaze on the flank, chewing on Vince a little bit there, but able to pop the Unstoppable before the Overpower could land. So that's going to mean, oh, they were trying one more time, but Falstad with the barrel roll over the wall there. And Heavy Impact will have their level 10s.
Alrighty, 10s coming in, and as I said, it wouldn't surprise me to actually see, with the addition of 10s, the potential for some actual picks to happen rather than just Lamau protected, by the way, every few seconds. So
You're able to create a little bit of distance. You've got the mind control to help with that. You've got the big Twilight Dream silence, a gust to possibly send any saves away. There's a lot of tools here.
Yep, Malfurion can always root on top of the Dark Portal. And so now you're trying to get back through your portal, but no, you're rooted. And now you're trying to get back to it again, but no, you're mind controlled, or you're hooked off of it, or maybe it's on the other side of it in Tomb. There's a lot of different elements that we're seeing. I know Malf gets his root at 1, but there's a lot of different elements we're seeing that just got added here that can really change the nature of how these fights go.
Bruiser can't push in the mid. Yeah. GG Till I Die going for the
early
push
game
here.
pick pressure is going to still be lacking.
We'll have to see what comes on out here. Tremor probably looking for a hookup. Oh no, the wave's in the way. The Web Weaver showed up and started blocking hooks once again as the push continues. GG Till I Die would love to pick up that structure, but they are just going to use the Medivh portal to head on up to the top lane and see if they can get some more of these walls down to eliminate that Stitches pressure.
The moment just sieging with their Web Weaver after mid has gone down, looking for whatever they can get. No hook's not going to land. And taking out all these towers right here, I gotta say, as I said before, the effectiveness of Stitch's hooks, he more than ever has his work cut out for him in trying to actually hook someone into danger beyond the reach of that Medivh and Brightwing. They both start with M. As we move through here. Both teams still with enough gems to be able to go for the next turn.
That'd be a lore matchup. Medivh and Malfurion. The Ancient One versus the Demon Master. Goodness gracious. I've always been an advocate for more lore-based balance in this game. As we see the Leyline combo coming on out. Great gust, though, from Roger. Going to deny that engage. Hook not going to follow up there. If that's a 13 hook, maybe Mach is in a little bit of trouble, but we are still about halfway there for Heavy Impact.
No, you're talking about lore-based balance, and my first thought is just a map-sized Deathwing.
Yeah, there we go.
And my second thought was, damn, I would have really liked Deathwing as a map. And we see here an engage onto Tremor, that displacement interrupting his gorge.
Fancy Pants in big trouble here. Has the portal to get out, but Mason Blaze is on the other end. Leoric still gonna go down there. Vince tanking some shots there in the front line. Infrared gonna warp on forward there with that Shadow Dagger. A lot of low health bars on the side of GG Till I Die. Jay going right in there with the Hortibolt, trying to turn things around. May have got a bad bounce there. Is gonna end up on the wrong side, but turning it into the right side is Vince. Falstad going down on the re-engage.
Well, you called it a bad bounce, but Hogger mid-roll actually intercepted a Stitches hook. Tremor threw it out, and it just so happened to time with the Hog Wild, blocking the hook. I think that one is a matter of luck and a little bit of poor timing, but that had to feel bad. Your one chance at a hook just completely wrecked by the Tasmanian Devil spinning around, and then immediately followed up with the Falstad kill. Falstad will be up in time to defend this objective, and both teams are still on equal talent tiers, so this is still absolutely anybody's game.
Maka gets hit!
Hook onto Jaina.
Fancy Pants is set up for the save. Root comes out. Mind Control gonna land. There's the Protected.
Oh, the
gust doesn't land, but Jaina still falls. Vince gonna be pulled back in there. The fort is cleaving on through. Diablo low here with the -20 armor. Infrared trying to catch up. The Root comes out from Weary Day, and Diablo is down. Fancy Pants trying to get out, has the portal. Diablo gonna have that soul reset. Medivh gets back into the air there.
And those portals are just so much less safe with the introduction of these ults. Even with the ability to dodge the gust, Just there's so much coming out. The mind control, the Twilight Dream. You're effectively stunned while you're rooted and silenced underneath your portal. Just such an effective response by Red Team to really start turning things around and even up the experience.
Absolutely. If we take a look at the experience quickly, even on those hero kills, a little bit ahead on the minions is heavy impact, but behind on the mercenary caps. Getting those 2 kills definitely helping out in the in catching up on the way to level 16 here. Oh, holding the bruiser camp here is GG Till I Die. Tremor trying to drop 45! Oh, but only had 9 or 11 to go in there. Tremor still holding 34, trying to move back with that Shambling Horror. Big silence onto Jaina. Maka in trouble, but Legacy has the save. And Tomb on the edge from Leoric, but Mason Blaze will be punished for it. There's the Leyline going to catch one. Gust coming on out from Falstad. There's the Apocalypse combo going to catch Infrared for now. Just pinballing back and forth, and poor Sylvan is going to fall. Tremor sitting on 34. Oh no. Tremor going the other way here. Is anyone going to be in range to pick up these gems? It doesn't look like it. Polymorph is out, and that's 34 on the ground there. GG Till I Die with the triple kill.
Absolutely ludicrous fight. And we talked a little bit before Infernal Shrines in Game 1. I mentioned how Odin is really nice when you're going to fight in one consistent area. You know, for the next 30 seconds, I want to control this spot. Medivh, on the other hand, is super good at these very mobile fights. It's like, oh, we want to run away from you? Okay, perfect. We can do that. Oh, you want to run away from us? No, no, no. We don't allow that. We don't do that here. And see, just the fight kept shifting forward and forward and forward through multiple zones of the map, but Medivh teams are just so adept at running you down. You are pretty committed once you go in there, and the execution in that initial part of the fight, just at the very start, trying to line up your abilities perfectly to get kills through the Brightwing save, through the Medivh save, the execution and the coordination on the red side has to be absolutely perfect. I think from the start of the fight, or else we're going to see more of those long shifting fights that eventually come out to blue team's favor.
Absolutely. Tremor going to look forward here. Moving ahead, seeing if there's a hook. Jay saying hi, swinging on through, going to avoid the hook there. Big push there in the mid is going to be pretty quickly cleared away by GG Till I Die. As Tremor going to be fishing once again here in a moment. Jay hanging out there, sitting on 32. GG Till I Die has exactly 60 for the turn-in. We'll have to see if they go for it. Oh, Fancy Pants going to get hit with the Gorge there. Apoc coming on out is actually going to catch Tremor, but there is the Cleanse. Mind Control coming out. Silence as well onto Fancy Pants. Sylvanas unfortunately going to be run down. Fancy Pants didn't even get that health bar touched. Leoric next to fall, and my goodness. It was a good attempt. Tremor had the pick, but unfortunately just couldn't bring them back far enough. Roger going to be polyed. That's a triple coming in for GG Till I Die.
That is a lot. That should be a guaranteed boss right there, as we even see Medivh speeding up the rotations of their team. That extra 2 seconds that you buy for your teammates does matter a lot. I want to see, it looks like everyone would have to turn in, near everyone for it to work. I wanted to see a synchronized turn in, but it looks right now that they're just going to go for the boss and not the boss plus turn in at the moment. Playing the pretty conservative play here, the no-loss play, as they maintain their level and a half lead.
They're going to hang out. Fancy Pants going to stay in the area.
Okay,
I think they should have enough.
Like. Okay, need more.
There they go. Yeah, they're doing it exactly like you said. This is okay, something perfect. For, you Storm Leaguers out there, amateur divisions. Get the turn in first, because the turn in takes a year to march down the lanes. So now, because this wave is pushed up, the Web Weaver is going to get to the wall at the same time as this boss. That's exactly what you want to see.
The more you synchronize into a push at the one time, the better. You would much rather have all of your stuff pushing at once than you would each one pushing separately between the boss, the minion wave, and the objective. Yeah, when you would get into high-level competitive play, regularly a part of it is syncing 2 minion waves plus a camp. All of a sudden, that is much more threatening than just a minion wave by itself or just a camp, and it's the exact same philosophy playing out right here as we see boss and Web
nice
Weaver.
Hellgate. Vince with the Hellgate escape. Keep taking some damage there. Sylvanas taking the hit as well as the Water Elemental was starting to cleave on in. That is Wintermute at level 20 for Maka, so that Water Elemental suddenly becomes a serious threat. GG Till I Die are going to surge on forward here. They've still got a half-health boss and a half-health objective, pushing on through. Medivh Cheat's going to catch one. Apocalypse popping, but a nice gust from Roger. Going to try to buy some time to clear this. Force shielding is getting low. Polymorph onto Tremor. Going to get the Gorge, but it's not going to be enough. Stitches goes down here. Core at 50%, and this looks like it's going to be it here. GG till I die. Very nice push here to end things off. Malfurion going to fall as the teams scrap a little bit, but Blue picking up their first win of the series. GG.
That's going to tie things up, all up at 1-1, and this is a best of 5.
Correct.
So we've got a few more games, at least 2 more in store, possibly 3. And I gotta say, sometimes when I'm out here casting, especially amateur teams that don't scrim a ton each week, and I'm not sure exactly what the levels are for these guys right here, but a lot of times when I'm casting and it's below that CCL level, the comps can tend to feel a bit samey from game to game, and I can say that that's absolutely not the experience here. Ooh. Right? That is
those were
a very
different plans, different plans for sure.
Yeah, completely, entirely different experiences here, and I just want to see, is that going to continue? Are we going to see a whole new set of playstyles for Game 3? Are we going to see them fall back to one of these two? Because even I know, back at like the peak of my competitive team, we had our favorite, like, 3 strategies that we really liked, 4 strategies, you know, that we would lean on. So that's always my big question right here. How varied will your approach be as we shift this map to map, and as we take it here in Game 3 to Towers of Doom?
Towers of Doom is a map that accommodates a lot of different styles. There's a lot of ways you can go. If you can, you know, snipe a Vikings pick, that's one way to go. You know, Alex Straza Zarya comps can come on in for extreme endurance and zone control. I've seen, let's see, what did we have? This past Monday, it was Error 404 versus Regen. We had 4 healers and an Imperious. That was a fun one on Towers of Doom. Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff that can go down here. We are going to Towers of Doom for game number 3. Once again, if you are getting here and you missed the beginning explanation, these are replay casts. These teams could unfortunately only play on a night where there was another Storm Division broadcast, so we're doing the replays tonight. Just to catch everyone up. We control time.
It is at our whim.
Fun's asking who's Pog in this series. You did miss some good comps. We just had the Medivh Diablo. We had a Rhaegar White Mane Varian Colossus Smash comp in game number 1. There's been spice. It's been spicier than I advertised. Under promise, over deliver. That's, you know, a tenet of good business.
Always.
And we'll see if I can undersell Towers of Doom enough here. I think they're going to play nothing but Hammer versus Chromie. I don't know. What's the most boring exchange you could possibly put out there?
Oh, man. I was talking to my friends about boring. Thankfully, the most boring HOTS experience doesn't exist anymore, but did you ever play when Resurgence was a thing, Crush?
No, I hadn't. I wasn't playing at the time. That was in the game.
So this was back, I want to say in Alpha, we had a talent called Resurgence that resurrected you when you died after 5 seconds. You may recognize it in Diablo's level 100 Souls reward right now. Before that version of Diablo's trait existed, you had this as a generic talent that was on multiple heroes. So there were plenty of comps picked based on which heroes had Resurgence. And it got to the point where to end the game, you had to wipe the enemy team twice within 3 minutes. Or else it may have been 5 minutes, but regardless, it was absurdly long. We had these insanely long grinding games, especially on certain maps that tend to lack endgame win conditions. Like, I can only imagine if that was a thing in modern Garden Terror right now. I think I would rather Alt F4 than play it out.
It already can go like 35 minutes. Don't do it to me, Blizz.
Let's go ahead and check out game 3 here.
All right, we're setting up. We've got game number 3 all queued up and ready to go. Let's hit the start button and get into Towers of Doom as we load on up. Fun's talking about medallion meta. That was a tough one. That was an interesting part of Heroes of the Storm history.
In terms of changes that really stuck out to me, the weather, man, oh my gosh. I really particularly loved hearing thunder and seeing the lightning flash, and knowing that I would be treated to minus 50 FPS for a while. That was just really fun.
Unfortunate. Heroes. All right. We're into game number 3. Hey, it's the Vikings. On the left and the blue, we have GG Till I Die. Maka is on Greymane. Vince is on Anubarak. Legacy Play in the Bright Wing. Fancy Pants is on Li Ming. And there's Jay on the Vikings.
The battle begins in...
And over on the right side for Heavy Impact. It took me a second. We have Weary Day playing that Uther. Mason Blaze bringing us the Zeratul. Tremor on Diablo. And Roger playing Tychus. Infrared rounding it out with the Jaina. Swapping from the blue to the red team with the Jaina pick here. Always a staple, I feel like.
Excellent, excellent. We're going straight to the bottom lane here with GG Till I Die, going straight for that bottom wall, using the Vikings to soak the other lanes. Heavy Impact are coming in with the most womboest of comps here. Do you think we're going to see a Divine Hurricane? Are we going to see the big stun from Uther?
Going into the comp that is specifically here, it's kind of interesting, right? Because you always have to ask yourself when you're picking your Uther 10, what length of fight do I want, and what length of fight does the enemy team want? And you're absolutely correct in identifying the burst on one side, but both teams are some of the burstiest comps that I've seen in a while. Both of these teams want to deal big damage fast. Trevor taking big damage, but there is an Uther present who is also the next kill target, and that's First Blood only a minute into the game, and a Viking on the other side too, which is a consolation prize for Red.
Picking off one, Jay. Trying to help out with the camp, gonna go and pick up some XP, like a good Viking should. But yeah, early camp steal, this is what you can do. Is there Olaf going down once again? I feel like we're gonna see that popping off a lot with the Zeratul off lane coming in for Heavy Impact. But, you know, if you've got at least 2 of your Vikings alive, you're gonna be doing okay.
Yeah, you just need to cover the lanes. That's all it is. It's Weary Day. Oh, no,
Bye-bye.
You just got back, Weary Day.
Oh, Anubarak fallen as well. Roger is low. Tremor is low. The splash. Oh, the Diablo kill is in. That always was the most feel-bad kill ever for me. It's just like, I'm away, sploosh. Oh.
I too hate getting splooshed on, but regardless, that was a great play right there. Blue team still going up in kills, currently up 3-1 and now able to take their own Sapper camp. And I gotta say, nothing feels better than getting an early lead as a Vikings team, because you know that once you've got that experienced lead, it is so hard for the enemy team to catch up. That can lead to some really solid performance going into the late game, although it will heavily depend on how much Zeratul can do against these Vikings in the middle and the top lanes.
Zeratul's picked up a couple kills so far, but hasn't been too many since. Jay playing a little more conservative there as Vince getting the double stun. Tremor able to get away, though. But this wall is taking a ton of damage here. You see Fancy Pants just lobbing in that poke, lobbing in those missiles and those orbs, making it difficult for Heavy Impact to step up here.
Now both teams just trading some damage in the bot lane here. Got full vision of each other. They know where they are. And I gotta say, what started my hatred of Vikings, I actually didn't really know about this on Towers of Doom until Zanehive told me about it one day, I believe while we were on Scythe, and he mentioned, oh, TLV on Vikings? Insane. Tremor taking big damage.
Tremor doing a pretty good job of tanking most of these hits. Staying in that front line, intercepting those Li Ming shots, intercepting the Greymane dives as Zeratul finally going to finish off Olaf. But here comes Eric for the next interrupt here on the top right. Mason Blaze going to be working on that for a little while here. It was looking like Tychus was going to go up and try to help for a moment, but down here in the bottom lane, 4 members of GG Till I Die continue the siege.
Yeah, and there's Roger going up on that Tychus to help the Zeratul secure that turn in, which he finally does. And you just need to exert such a ridiculous amount of control and have such a large advantage over the Vikings to truly beat them in just the ability to contest those triple altar phases all at the same time, which is where Vikings tends to shine, and the single altar phases can go a little bit against Vikings, because at that point it's not so much about putting pressure at multiple parts of the map, but Vikings does scale very solidly into some late game team fighting with the talents that they can get in their tree. Vince going in on Tremor towards bot side.
Very nice unstoppable. Let's see if that's going to be enough to save Tremor. There's the reposition with the Shadow Charge. Maka very, very low there as Mason Blaze went on in. Greymane going to get killed. Tremor staying alive. Great turnaround from Heavy Impact. Going to turn that into a double kill, and they're going to be able to jump onto their own Sapper camp here.
And that's just what a way to turn that around for sure. I can tell that Vince, I think some miscommunication with his team as his own team was getting ravaged there in the backline, but he went for more and more aggressive body blocks onto Tremor. So I think maybe not 100% on the same page there as Fancy Pants, just getting gone in on by Tremor, but that's not going to lead to anything at the moment.
I gotta think they weren't expecting the Zeratul rotation. Because Zeratul got back there and really messed up the re-engage. As Tremor trying to get away here. Nice bump back, though, by Roger, but it's not going to be enough. There goes Diablo. Vince going to turn it around. There goes Uther once again here. That's a double kill for GG Till I Die. And we've got a single altar phase coming up down here in the bottom lane.
And this really is what drives the Uther tens. It's, do you play to your own win condition of, I'm in this very bursty team, am I going to Divine Storm? Or do you play against the enemy team's win condition, who also wants to burst for
There's
Divine
a cocoon.
Shields?
They're trying to take out the fort first. There's the follow-up, and hardly knew ya. There goes Jaina.
There's the cursed bullet from Maka. Maka knows that he's going to be participating in those quick pick kill attempts because with the reality of this comp that Blue Side has here, they're investing everything that they have into getting that first pick and then hoping that leaving resets will work for the rest of the fight. The fight is a very binary outcome between whether or not Blue is able to quickly get a kill. And that's how these burst comps centered around the Li Ming tend to be, with how they have to play around their resets. Regardless, both teams on an equal talent tier here. And there goes down Eric yet again, and laning is about to somewhat return to normal as Red Side fights for its bottom bell tower. Here's an engage on Jaina.
Infrared able to get on out of there, reposition. There's the combo coming out onto Vince. Another great cleanse though, but is it going to be enough? Shielding onto a Nubarak. There's the cleave, and Nubarak goes down. There goes Brightwing as well. Is the VP going to expire? Mason Blaze having to get away here. Doesn't have that self-healing online just yet. But Tremor chasing down Maka there. Triple kill coming in for Heavy Impact.
Heavy Impact just consistently, when things don't look great for them, are able to execute these team fights. And it almost feels like a repeat of just the story of Game 1, where they seem to have this greater level of composure in the straight-up 5-on-5.
They've also got these level 10s online. That's a big, big turnaround. It's not the full wombo that I was thinking might come on through. It is Water Elemental for Jaina. It is the Divine Shield for Uther. We do have the Void Prison and the Apocalypse, but they're not putting all of their eggs into the one basket here. They're going to have a couple extra tools to work with in these fights.
Yeah, both teams really just wish they could squeeze out a little bit more experience. However, that's more realistic for the Vikings team. If this objective runs a little long, which it's not looking like it will, because there's a fight instead.
There's the Elemental coming on out, trying to save Tychus on the edge here. Roger has the dash to move away. Vince in the corridor there. Tremor, that was a weird movement there from Diablo. It looked like the Shadow Charge almost got interrupted for a moment. Vince able to get away there.
And it does have a small window for doing so.
I'm not sure if that was just a replay hiccup or if that was an interrupt.
Who knows?
But that's not looking like a replay hiccup as Diablo goes down. Fancy Pants bumped back there. I've got to say, I've been seeing a lot of Tychus pick here in Storm Division, and the grenade placement for moving people in the correct direction, like just using it like a wave of force, is really, really good. Like, people are very rarely saved by the grenade at this level.
Yeah, and definitely having quarterback at level 1 for the increased cast range gives you a little bit of extra flexibility in your positioning and ability to intentionally redirect the enemy players here, as we see Vince starting to take some damage and walk away.
Nice and Pale to interrupt the Shadow Charge on that one.
Blue would ideally want to pick off someone other than Uther like they did last pickoff, as Uther really can tend to, as a ghost, prevent some of those chained Li Ming reset takedowns here. Red Side still continuing to pressure, but they have all 5 players down here. They're ready for a 5-on-4.
Vince waiting. Mason Blaze is going to catch Fancy Pants there on the edge and force a little bit of a reposition. Heavy Impact is going to grab that camp, no problem. And we've got ourselves a double altar phase down here in the bottom lane. Neither team should be able to get to 16 before this fight really breaks out. So this should be an even talent tier scuffle here.
Yeah, right here, the only way that one team could get 16 would be if it were to go really particularly long, while Vikings were able to play 4 consistent soak. But like you said, I think it's going to be equal as we see both teams going in for a little bit of back and forth. Blue team getting pushed off at the moment. Red is going to start threatening these turn-ins here. Damage onto Olaf topside as we see the splitting coming up. 16 is on the horizon.
16's getting close there.
D-shield onto shield.
Mason Blaze with a giant combo in the back. There it is. The cleanse comes out, but it's not enough to save Brightwing. Goes down first in this fight. Maka going to try to reposition, but down goes Greymane. Vikings are actually... We get the channel from Eric in the mid there. Getting some shots out onto the core. Bottom is still being controlled by the positioning of Heavy Impact. We'll see if they want to take this bottom fort before they channel. Looks like they just want to get the shots on the board and then move up to grab this structure.
And I just want to remind the chat that there was a significant period of time where Zeratul, I know his situation with the 10s was a little different than it is now, but there was a significant period of time where not picking Void Prison was seen as trolling by a large amount of the community. And I feel like right there really showed why. When you have teammates that you can count on, when you know that you've had some experience together, your comms are good, your coordination is there, it leads to some beautiful teamfight plays like what we had just seen with the Void Prison leading into the Apocalypse, and I fully expect to see that attempted once more once those abilities are back off cooldown.
But you see, Mockery, when I put the play onto YouTube, I have to call it a 5v5 team wipe and not a 1v9 team wipe.
You're right, you're right. I will say, I saw
can't
the
have
Twilight Zeratul compilation montage. I thought it was amazing, but Void Prison, I feel that utility in the current era of Heroes of the Storm can be a little slept on. Everybody wants to be the damage dealer to carry. Trevor going in, huge combo.
D-Shield actually had to be committed there onto Roger as the counter engage onto Tychus was coming in hot. Infrared, has a double root, but there Maka jumps on out and Jaina goes down. Wow, GG till I die. There's that burst.
What a time to get picked off by Jaina. She will not be present for the first couple seconds of these objectives. Maka still continuing the chase at the moment, not afraid to keep going after Roger.
Just going in. Oh my goodness, the reset from Fancy Pants looking for Weary Day here. Finds the tap, but there goes Uther. My goodness. Is that movement speed on 13? On the prowl, increased movement speed by 30% once it's been active for 3 seconds. Maka just stalking down the lane there after Tychus picking up that kill.
And even with all of that back and forth, it's still just a tower for tower trade in the top lane. All the hoopla. But now red side continues to be at a slight disadvantage here, still down a person. And blue team just now taking that bottom bell tower is set up to be in a dominating position come late game. Level 20, of course, is looming, and they still have plenty of time to actually use that. With only 12 core shots to go, blue team is seriously thinking about ending this game soon.
Boss is up, so they could potentially grab 4 from there. They're going to see if they can get some of these sappers across the line to narrow that win condition even further.
There's the Zeratul flank.
Zera flank coming on through. Vikings trying to find level 20 for GG till I die here, and they're just going to back off. They do not want to throw their lives away this close to level 20.
Well, that means that they don't have any chance to take this on an equal talent tier. The game will likely have a deciding moment where they're forced to fight down 20 unless they can get some miracle pouring in of EXP at the moment. But maybe they'll be able to hold on just long enough. It really depends on what this next altar phase looks like. And we see
it's looking like a single altar phase down here on the bottom side, so this won't be an end. Unless these sappers all go through, which they won't because the tower's changing.
If this were a triple altar phase, that would have been absolutely massive for blue team, who very well may have forced a win right here. But with only one shrine, there's no way that's a possibility, and that gives red team a lot of time to catch up.
Oh, Vince going in on the outside. You see the rewind going to be popped there. Infrared is caught. There's the go in as well. Uther put into the cocoon, but not before the D-shield comes out. Apoc not going to land there. There's Jay taking a little bit of damage on the edge. Olaf sticking around for some stuns. Oh, Mason Blaze. Mason Blaze on the flank catches 2 in the VP. Tremor's trying to set up for a pin. Nice polymorph coming out from Legacy. My goodness, the water elemental on the edge is just cleaving right through GG Till I Die. Anubarak going to be the first to go down here. Heavy impact, able to move their heroes around, not let anyone go down. A couple heroes past half health, but they pick up the kill onto Anubarak, and they've got a chance to come back in this map right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically what more could you have asked for as the red side right there, winning the fight down level 20, getting your shot at redemption, knowing that you'll be able to take this game at equal talent tiers. And now with bottom bell tower taken back, both teams looking at boss. That's going to be an initiation on the Vikings, who are able to jump out of there just fine. But red team wants to take this boss off the map, prevent blue team from having any end options with it, and get a little bit closer to victory
there a little
themselves. Yeah, going forward, I think we saw a Hellgate and a Water Elemental being used right here. Teams being rather liberal with their cooldown usage. They know that they've got a little bit of time until next objective as we see another engage, and there goes a Viking.
Bit of a domination combo there as we had a cat gank, apparently. Poor Maka. Cat taking out the cords. Classic pause here in Heroes of the Storm. See what I did there with the pause?
I didn't even see what you did until you said it.
Classic pause. Perfect. All right, we got a solo phase, another solo phase here. So this, once again, will not be a win condition for GG Till I Die, as they still need 7 shots to go on through. It looks like they're not going to play for the objective at all. They're just going for the map control. I think I like this play.
Yeah, map control is the long-term play. They know that they can afford to give up a little bit right here while getting some map pressure out, getting this top. This will, of course, be a trade for the bottom bell tower as the situation looks currently, but Baylog doing a great job of stalling the solo Uther on the turn-in. Continuing to stall. This is actually going to be a play again. Whoop, swooping the Baylog away. Will not be able to get it. And this is a tower-for-tower trade with sappers going up towards the top lane. Red team will have to clear those sappers out if they want to avoid taking some critical bits of core health damage.
Team going to start to back off now to try to stop that. Zeratul heading back as well. Should be able to clear these away as the minion wave is still staying alive there. Yeah, Mason Blaze is here in time. Okay, so these sappers should go down no problem. We see GG Till I Die gonna move down to the bottom side of the map, just ring around the rosy right now with this map control situation. Baylog will fall there in the top lane, was trying to push that wave in. I think the Vikings will be okay for it, but now we're going for a bit of a switcheroo down here in the bottom lane. We're gonna have teams on the wrong side with their tower captures. This will allow GG Till I Die to back up and take their tower safely if they choose, but it looks like they're going to stay up here and defend, try to get these sappers across.
Yeah, at the moment, if you can get those sappers in, that's the only way at the moment that you can look for any points. Unfortunately, not able to do it, and I've seen Tremor go in on so many Vikings this game. It's rather interesting. And
domination setup, they're just trying to get as many of those kills as they can.
Yeah,
play again makes that makes that a little less effective, but you know. Looks like we're going back to even on these towers. It is a double phase. Vince going to find the interrupt there, going on in once again onto Tremor. There's the rewind coming on out, already committed by Anubarak. Tremor going to have the combo of their own. Apoc coming on out. Apoc, oh, that was a Hellgate. Now the full Apoc is going to come on through. Look at the cleave. Brightwing is down. There goes Greymane as well. Fancy Pants and Vince being chased out here. Vikings were trying to cap the bottom side, but they won't be able to do it. Mason Blaze has the channel. Jay, there goes another Eric going down here. Weary Day on the bottom side going to grab another set of shots. Oh, this one's not over yet.
Ooh, just another stagger of the blue team with that last pick. Actually, it's going to get play again away. All the Vikings are back up in spite of that last pick. But I gotta say, what I feel like is being exhibited here, more than almost anything else, is a gap in ease of execution. This blue side comp, they have to coordinate a lot in order to get their team fights to play out successfully. They have to chain they have to all focus in on one target. There has to be a cursed bullet on that CC target. And if they coordinate correctly, then it leads to some very quick instantaneous burst that is immediately followed up by Leeming resets. However, that's all kind of difficult to pull off and requires your players to be on the same page. And we can just see that the engage has been a little bit disjointed so far from the blue side here. I noticed immediately the bullet missed in that last fight, and immediately I thought to myself, that's a lot of their team fight win condition just gone. Blue side, I think, has a very difficult comp to play given the circumstances, and I think it's starting to show in the teamfight execution gap that is starting to consistently show up in this matchup.
It is being poked down there. Fancy Pants throwing out the orbs, throwing out the missiles. It's going to take one tower back, but we do have a double top lane altar phase. GG Till I Die, if they take the bottom tower back, can stop this from being checkmate, but oh no, they have to break off. They're not going to be able to do it, so that means Heavy Impact could possibly win the game right here.
Yeah, if those three get in, or even just two of those sappers get in towards the bottom lane, then one capture of these objectives will be enough.
Epoch combo not going to land. Good movement there by GG Till I Die. Diablo is put into the cocoon there.
Odin is
coming on out there. Roger trying to get away. Mason Blaze has the channel on the left. Diablo going to be the first to go down here. Soul reset. There goes Tychus. Uther going to fall as well as GG Till I Die going to surge on forward. Play it again from the Vikings. Going to turn it around with the stun. Look at that. Mason Blaze in trouble. Polly is out. There goes Zeratul. This could be game. This is boss and channel.
Yeah, that adds up exactly
That's
to 7. And Blue side knows they can end right here. They're taking the boss slots guaranteed, and they're going to move up, and this is a 5-on-2 to win the game.
Oh my goodness, Diablo is down. Right, unbelievable turnaround from GG Till I Die. They're going to pick up this game number 3. Exact shots into the core. That's going to do it.
Not even close. All right, Blue side never had a shredded out in their mind. I don't remember saying a single negative thing about their strategy the whole time. I knew they had it in the bag.
Clip that, chat. We need to post that.
That was a game for sure right there. Just back and forth, super close, down to the wire. About as close as a game could possibly be.
I had moved my points focus completely over to red side. I totally missed that Blue had the turnaround with that boss. Wow.
I just took your word for it. Part of my personal streaming philosophy, my casting philosophy, is to do as little math as possible. Never definitively say anything that requires math to do it. If you have to, the chance of just goofing to over 100 people is way too high. So I avoid all math anytime I can. Going into that fight, I'm like, let's see how this fight goes. And for what it's worth, it was a good one. That was a very thrilling match all the way through the end.
As a wise streamer once said, when you're right, you're amazing, and when you're wrong, it's content.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. You talk a big game, and you go out, and you're like, man, I can't wait to dominate. And you get wrecked, and it's like, oh, comedy. And then if you go out and you say, I can't wait to dominate, and you dominate, then you look cool. It's the Dr. Disrespect formula, summed up just like that. There you go.
It works. What can you say?
Free content lessons for you, chat, right here, right now.
That means we're setting up for game number 4. It's going to be Volskaya Foundry. Volskaya Foundry here for game number 4.
I'm looking forward to watching a game of the map that should have stayed in over Warhead Junction, if we're all being honest about the rank situation.
I've got a theory about that. I've got a theory about this. I think that they were planning on redoing this map, and then they just kind of ran out of resources. I think, maybe summer, fall 2022, we're going to get the Volskaya Foundry rework that they were hoping to release a year and a half earlier.
Ooh, I don't want to sound like too much of a doomer about the situation, but I remember last night someone was like, so is this it? Do we get a hero every BlizzCon? And I was like, what makes you think we're getting a hero at BlizzCon?
I hope. I can't think of any other reason to delay the season roll other than that, but you know what? We've been surprised by things in the past. We will have to see. Oh, goodness.
Who knows? Game 4 could be the newest thing to surprise us right here. We have seen a significant mix-up every single game, so I want to see what's going to happen here. Come on, pull out a Tracer comp for me. I know I saw Maka in there. Let's get it going.
I mean, we've got Volskaya Foundry. It's there's some wide open lanes. There's ways to roam around. You can dive in without getting too caught. The roamers can do some work. But it's interesting to see because teams, you know, there are some leagues that just don't even look at Volskaya Foundry as a possibility. It's not in Storm League anymore. So there's not a lot of iteration on the map right now. So I'm interested to see what the focus is going to be. Like where we last left it off, there was a lot of people just trying to ignore the objective entirely or just playing for the fourth objective capture, like just way down the line type of strats. But there's, you know, there's different kind of things you can do. I'm interested to see what these teams consider the current Volskaya Foundry strat to be, such as it is.
And Volskaya was always open-ended. I have seen a multitude of different strategies work on this map, and I think that a lot of that has to do in the same way that it has to do in BOE, where you can almost get away with a low macro draft and an offlaner that doesn't exhibit a lot of pressure onto their lane, just like in Battlefield of Eternity and in Volskaya, your offlaner is neither expected to double soak nor to win a point. So when you combine the fact that you have a lot of different offlane options, and the fact that even your foreman doesn't need that much macro, that can lead to some drafts that you only see on these maps. So that was always why Volskaya Foundry had a bit of a soft spot for me. And it was also just because it was one of my best maps when I played, so I preferred it. But I could definitely see what people are talking about with the playing for the ultra late game, because the objective wasn't that scary. Like, I remember season 1 of CCL, the Celebrity Clash League, before it was, before the players were good. I'm kidding. We had a game where we went up like 13-11, and then I think we froze the game until we were level 20-17. Like, it's something that you can do on this map because of the limited power of the objective. You have the power to stall for so much and play for the ultra late game, and that opens up even more comps. So I'm pretty confident that we're going to get surprised with what we see here in game 4.
You heard it here first. Nazebo Ragnaros is coming through in this game. We're going straight to level 24.
Cho'Gall! Let's
Cho'Gall, no stopping us. All right, we're set up. Let's get into game number 4 here. We're in the lobby. Let's hit the start game button once again. And let's jump right in. Let's see if they switch sides. Can we go 4-0? Yes!
Hey, we're on the same side again. As a caster, y'all don't know the struggle of having teams flip which side they're on, and you consistently have to 180 your UI back and forth.
All right, loading on up. Here we go. All right, jumping on in. Let's do it. Game number 4. On the left in the blue, we have GG Till I Die. Vince is on the Johanna. Fancy Pants playing Leoric. Maka on the Tyrande. Jay playing Zeratul. Legacy on the Brightwing. What do we got on the right?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, Crushinator. On the right, coming in at support, we have Weary Day bringing that Deckard, recently buffed. Still not too popular, but I always love seeing this character, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do. Mason Blaze, fittingly on the Blaze. Roger playing that Tychus Tremor, returning it, running it back in Diablo. And Infrared continuing the switch-ups, now playing the Chromie.
I love a Chromie. Gots to have my Chromie, especially with a nice Deckard setup, keeping people still.
That makes one of us. As we get into here.
Oh, she's my favorite. I love it. Standing on back there, it's fantastic. But they're going up against a, we got a Brightwing Zeratul. Oh, did I say Tyrande? Because that's Hanzo. Oops.
You know, they both have bows and arrows.
It was the bow, and I couldn't see because of the mount head. That's a Hanzo. That's not a Tyrande.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, chat. Goon, I know I see you there, buddy. I know you would rather a Tyrande. It's Hanzo. let's get a close up. Maka is on Hanzo. Do you see that?
My personal favorite Hanzo ability is the one where he shoots the arrow. I think that's probably my favorite one.
That's a pretty good one. You've got that global ability as well.
Yep. You have the Q where he shoots an arrow.
You shoot the thing across the map. Very Tyrande-like. Yeah, there we go. All right.
Where's my Thrall World Breaker-esque upgrade to Dragon Strike where it just goes across the entire map?
I just don't see why
where is
not,
that?
to be honest.
Yeah, let the players have what they want, Liz. That's what I say.
Oh, goodness. Well, we're going to start out here. Heal camp already picked up by Heavy Impact. They decided to go straight for that rather than their right side turret. But on the bottom side here, Fancy Pants and Legacy trying to chip away at the towers a little bit. You know, every little bit of tower damage it really adds up here on Volskaya Foundry. One less shot going into your protector on an objective that already tends to take a bunch of damage is pretty useful going into the later game.
So one key element of these early game camps in Volskaya Foundry is that if you get your siege camp, your turret, significantly ahead of the other team, then that means that your turret will naturally respawn earlier, giving you a shot at a situation where you can take your turret as it respawns, the enemy turret has not respawned, and you can now force 2-on-1 item advantage with the turrets on that first objective. And I think that may be an element, if blue team is really on the ball about playing for their turret right here, going into this next first objective.
Fancy Pants getting a lot of siege down here in the bottom lane versus Mason Blaze. Is that, yeah, it's still Neil Peasants here for Leoric, so getting even more damage onto those minions, as well as, I guess there's a camp up in the top lane, a mercenary that you can swipe against. Does Neil Peasants, so it's mercenaries and monsters, that won't work against the vehicle, if I do know my terms correctly. Yeah, vehicle's a hero, so that won't do extra hero damage.
It is,
Okay.
It is an unstoppable hero that, like, is considered giant for stuff like Gorge. Because Gorge cannot affect giant heroes. And
is Alex Straza still the only hero that, like, becomes giant through a transformation? Because I remember, like, it's a weird thing with Stitch's Gorge. Where, like, you weren't supposed to be able to gorge massive targets, but it's like, can you gorge Alex Straza dragon form? I don't know. Tremor gonna get caught here, dropping that heal camp. Getting brought back in. Look at that negative healing. Oh my goodness, it's the biggest.
Potions.
Oh,
he's just running right through him.
Tremor's still low there. Polly comes on out, below 30 health. Diablo going down there. I think that was 4 people caught in a time trap. That might be the most I've ever seen in one time trap there. But Diablo's still going down.
Diablo time to live, because Deckard smartly used that time from the time stop to get a healing potion down, buying Tremor so much more ability to walk through those healing potions, but it just wasn't enough. And there is one thing that I would love to highlight here, and that is that we see a Redemption Ignore All Distractions build from Maka. This is a particularly strong enemy team to play auto attack Hanzo into, and also one of the best maps in the game for auto attack Hanzo. And there's just no dive on the red side. It's a really easy front line to chain auto attacks. I think Maka's going to see big value out of getting a lot of super quick autos here as we see a team fight starting.
Legacy in a little bit of trouble there, but able to boost on backwards. Fancy Pants may not be so lucky. Has the heals connected, but Mason Blaze on the chase. Roger going to lock that up. Oh, Hanzo going down on the top side as well. Infrared connecting with that Sandblast combination. That's going to allow Heavy Impact to own this point for a little bit longer.
So I was just talking about how Redemption Hanzo is going to do well, but there is one unfortunate side effect to dying that can happen there, where you lose 3 of your stacks of Redemption upon death. So now Maka's got a little bit further to climb if he wants to start actually using that increased attack speed, and for the moment, effectively does not have a level 1 talent. Now red side's starting to move in with this Triglav.
Tens are in for both teams. It looks like they are setting up for point C here. Moving along the bottom side for now, but already down to half. See if there's actually going to be time to clap onto this well. This protector's getting too low. Diablo Deckard going to have to move back here. Big Entomb coming out from Fancy Pants. So there is the Dragon Strike, and Deckard is going to fall. Very nicely caught there by Fancy Pants. Punishing on that protector, moving a little too far forward. And Tremor.
I gotta say, I love the communication as Tremor goes down here. Oh no. I love the communication with Jay typing in chat to try to figure out the Brightwing Z situation, maybe not wanting to interfere too much with what his team was doing in bot lane. Maybe they're all screaming in guns. I've certainly played on some teams that have that kind of environment. But right there, beautiful stuff so far from blue side. And at the moment, I can't help but think that their comp is about to scale into something very nice. Zeratul is definitely one of the stronger scaling characters in the game, and Blue Team has already managed to handle themselves pretty well. So going into the future here, they're not going to get a lot of backline peel. They've already got a bit with the Diablo, maybe a Herodric Staff even coming in at 16. But I think that Zeratul might be a problem come late game.
Speaking of Zeratul, we were talking about the Void Prison earlier. Void Prison not selected here. That's a full-on combo dive, probably maybe trying to get back onto the Deckard, get back onto the Chromie, and just pick up a quick kill there. Jay going to style on him rather than set up some sort of wombo here.
And it's interesting because it feels like Blue Side does have the wombo, but of course they are into Lord NATO Butcher. And it would just be really unfortunate to invest so much, or sorry, did I say Butcher? I meant Bunker. They're into Lornado Bunker, and that just really complicates the idea of going for the Wombo. You can invest so much into it, it all doesn't connect because you all got booped out of the way, or they all got in the bunker, and now you have nothing. So I somewhat get the idea to go for a little bit more independent damage, not part of a Wombo.
Roger caught in the top lane, but no damage in range to follow up on that. Iron Skin going to be popped here. Fancy Pants could be in trouble. He's actually going to get hit with the root and the reposition. Leoric, not even a chance to activate the Spooky Walk, and will go down.
And that is a very solid time for Red Side to get a kill, and what that means is they can go for the siege on top. And just as I had mentioned on Infernal Shrines beforehand, if you can take out this healing fountain, and actually, hold on, Vin's taking a lot of damage in the meantime, we'll get the Brightwing Z. But if you can take out this healing fountain, that greatly advantages you for this second objective, which is just now about to come up. So now Blue Side will not have the ability to tap on Red Side. Red Side looking for damage back and forth, but will not find it. Leo.
Fancy Pants,
Leo?
Oh my goodness. Goodbye. Oh, APOC combo coming on out there. Vince is going to eat the stun, and there goes Johanna. Double kill. Oh, goodness. Going right after Brightwing here. Oh, my goodness. Goodbye, Legacy. Wow. Infrared was ready on that one.
Yeah, just not even hesitating on the dive for a second right there. I love the absolute willingness to just step on the gas once Red Side sensed that they had an advantage. And at the moment, if they can snowball this a little bit, then maybe that Zeratul late game won't be as threatening. Now, Red Side here, just concerned with what else they can get at the moment. They're going to get some free charge, but it looks like we're seeing a bit of convergence on that turret camp. At the moment, as we see Tychus and Blaze come down, Red Team playing for a long-term experience and item advantage.
They're split. I think they split a little bit here. They had the kill advantage, and they have the presence on the top lane, taking out that fort. That it's very difficult for GG Till I Die to really justify fighting on that point. So leaving Tremor there for now, but Fancy Pants senses the deception and goes and controls that point here for GG Till I Die. Rooting out the conspiracy, as it were. The conspiracy of Heavy Impact to take other stuff and the objective at the same time. Gonna hit the combo there. There's the Unstoppable.
Top lane under the Leo.
Oh, baby.
Ooh. There goes Fancy Pants, just caught out at an unfortunate time here. As
Trait
Red Side will continue
activated.
to get some unopposed.
Oh, Vince was actually moving in for Infrared there. Dragon Strike committed as well, but Chromie able to get away. Full dive right behind that fort in the mid, but not going to result in a kill there. We're looking at a possible invade here on the left-hand side. Thinking about it, think better of it, and they're going to move back a little bit here.
Still level 16 advantage for just a small window of time, and I can't help but wonder if Red Team is thinking about the support camp at the moment. It is right next to them. This wave is about to be cleared, but it has despawned with no leash. So Red Side merely just going to see what they can do with this Triglav, as Blue Team managed to still take their turret camp, leashing it through this objective spawn. Well timed.
I wonder if we're going to see a stop-off here in the mid. Sometimes with the second objective, you get this wall down before heading on down to the bottom lane. It looks like they're going to get the quick clap and start to move on back. Interested whether they stick around. Tremor was thinking about a pin there, but Vince able to slip the wall. Protector actually going to stick around. Okay, so they're going to commit to this mid-fort. Fancy Pants back on the battlefield, just chewing on Diablo on the edge there. Deckard continuing to try to zone forward. Looks like they're going to not... Alright, they're going to switch in Diablo. Okay, so they're going to get Infrared out there for a little bit of siege value. There is the Iron Fist on the fort to shut it down. And this structure will almost certainly be going down. But this is... Oh, the Entombed Dragon Strike combo does not connect. That's going to be heavy impact. Able to get away here.
An Entombed Dragon Strike just so difficult to pull off into what they're up against at the moment. With the bunker and all of that, it just seems a bit of a difficult combo. Midfort is going to go down. I'm wondering exactly what went into that decision, as next objective will be bottom, and it's not till fourth objective that it will loop all the way around back over to being in the mid lane. And that won't happen till around like level 22-ish. As we see Jay up there soloing the support camp, does hold a turret at the moment, so he will need probably the Brightwing to come over and pick up that support camp.
Legacy in the area.
Bot lane.
Gonna come on through. Oh, we got a fight coming on through. There goes Leoric. I'm just watching two heroes take a heal camp. But that's Leo going down in the bot lane. It was a good heal camp take. But that's bottom fort going down here. But they ultimately are going to pick this up after grabbing the kill onto Fancy Pants. We'll see what else that they can do here. Vince is going to be caught by the root. There's a little Chromie combo. But Vince able to escape the Lornado reposition. Roger's got the Odin rolling, though. This is going to be the wall at least, if not more. Zeratul actually picking up the top fort there for GG Till I Die. Trying to even out that passive experience gain. Dragon Strike coming on out. There's the Entomb as well. Polymorph. There goes Diablo. I think Mason Blaze was able to pick up the turret there. Falling Sword comes on out, going to catch two. Infrared and Roger trying to turn it around here onto Vince. There's a turret going down once again. Going to stop some of that Chromie damage. Lornado separating the backline, but Roger is just very, very precarious spot. Deckard Cain and Chromie the next. Oh my gosh, Jay in the backline is cleaving them all. GG Till I Die with a quad kill. They was looking like they might be able to work their way back until the big flank came in.
Absolutely huge execution when it matters most from the side of GG Till I Die. Not even a little smidge of hesitation about where they're going to go. They won that fight and immediately started heading toward the top lane. They're getting that sidewall down. They don't even have to bother getting the full gate. Of course they're going for the end. That's exactly what they're doing right here.
They're going for it right now.
Yeah. And we see them at the moment taking it down. They've still got plenty of time. Those death timers are very long.
Tremor going to be caught. There is the... Oh my goodness. Goodbye, Diablo. Not that Diablo was going to be able to do a ton here, but this means an uninhibited push onto the core. Still 10 seconds till anyone's back. And this is looking like GG Till I Die. One good team fight. And that's going to be it. GG Till I Die is going to wrap this up in a 3-1 series victory. GG.
What a series right there, for sure. That, just looking at that, I honestly, I think that the 3-1 score at the end of the series does not accurately reflect how that series felt to watch in the moment. A lot of those games were very close. That last game was only 9-8 in kills. Even going in that, obviously that's not the whole story. Experience factors into it in a major way. But those games were, each one was very different. A lot of different win cons, different play styles, long-term competitive experience being shown for sure. The comfort in the different strategies coming out, and that was a fun one. For being 3-1, 3-1 definitely does not show how close and exciting that series was to watch.
I mean, it was, going into the late game there, it was looking like we were going to go to 20s. It was looking like we were going to go to possibly... We didn't even get to the third protector. That was looking like maybe the fourth could have got a keep. But then all of a sudden, 4 players go down and GG Till I Die just walks to the core. I wasn't really expecting that, to be honest. But they identified the timers, they moved across the map, and wow. Very, very nicely executed to round out that series.
Yeah, and I mean, just based off that situation, the instantaneous shot calling, the instantaneous following, that's something that happens through both trust and experience. And there's one thing Cavalier Guest would like to say that I really like to take from him when he would say, trust is a choice. Trust is not only something, we think of it as something you develop and sort of learn over time, but trust is also just a choice you make in your teammates. And you can see the switch flip. The second that GG Till I Die got that team wiped, the entire team moved over. And they all knew they had one mission. They were there, they were coordinated, no messing around. They got the core, easy money. And that's the series end right there. That was very well done with the gentleman's sweep, I believe it's termed, when you give that game away right at the start of the series. Very well done.
I can dig it. Alrighty, well, that is going to bring us to the end of today's series. Congratulations to GG Till I Die. They have secured the number 1 seed going into the playoffs. Let me bring up the calendar here for a moment just to confirm when the next games are. I believe we have a match coming up on Sunday. I'm just going to boot up the website here to be certain. Checking the schedule. Yeah, so Sunday at 9 o'clock, Heavy Impact is actually going to be playing again. They're going to be taking on Wildheart Omega Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I believe that's going to be Frosty bringing us that one. So make sure you come on out for that. Then there's a week break before the playoffs, so playoffs are going to start on October 4th. It is so 6 teams are going to make the playoffs. It's a double elimination format, I believe, where the 5 and 6 seeds start in the losers bracket. So there's more information on the website about how the playoffs are going to function, but in the next week we should see that bracket created, and we're going to see the finalization of those seeds. So make sure that you check the website out and get all the info there. Fantastic. Mockery, thank you so much for joining me tonight. This was fun.
Of course, I had a great time. It was just always so wonderful. It's been a long time since I cast, and I felt like I was tripping over my words every few seconds. But these are always such a blast. I had a good time.
It was a fantastic series. It's great to have a co-caster on here, talk back and forth with, expound on my wild theories. Usually I just throw them out into the ether, but someone to just go, what on earth are you talking about, Crush, is fantastic as well. Where can folks find you when you're not guesting on excellent shows like this one?
Well, when I'm not absolutely derailing to talk about anything and everything, you can find me at twitch.tv/MockeryTV. That's Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. Those are my big 3. Mockery TV, MOCHRIE-TV. That's where you'll find me. Thank you.
Fantastic. As for me, you can find my personal channel, twitch.tv/TheCrushinator, where you can find me casting more NGS Amateur Division stuff when I'm not right here doing some more Storm Division. So we're going to have the week break. I'm going to be excited to jump into the playoffs. Next week, I'm casting 3 Division C East matchups, just doing a full C East breakdown Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. So make sure you check me out for that. When I'm not online, you can catch me Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all at The Crushinator. It's all the same stuff. We're going to see if we can get ourselves a raid going, see if there's any more excellent content to send you on out to. So until next time, thank you so much for coming on out. Thanks for supporting Storm Division, and we will see you next time. Bye.